We're all looking for that secret sauce to boost sales, right? That one little tweak to the script, that brand new CRM feature. But what if the biggest lever you can pull has less to do with your process and everything to do with the psychology of your team? We're about to break down a really simple tool that can light a fire under your sales floor, and the results, they can be almost immediate. So here's what we're going to cover. First, we'll expose a huge blind spot a lot of sales managers have. Then we'll dive into the power of pure visibility and, address the elephant in the room: competition versus collaboration. After that, we'll dig into the psychology of why this works so well, give you a step-by-step playbook, and wrap it all up by showing you how this whole thing shifts the focus from process to people. Okay, let's dive right into our first section, the blind spot. Because almost every sales manager has one, and it's usually in the exact same place. We spend so much time looking outward, at our customers, at our processes, that we completely miss this massive opportunity right under our own roof. I mean, really think about it. When your team's numbers start to dip, what's your first instinct? Where do you immediately look to fix the problem? Because that answer, well, it reveals a whole lot. For most of us, the answer is probably one of these usual suspects, right? We tweak the customer journey, we schedule more sales training, we try to optimize the CRM, or we roll out some new promotion. And look, don't get me wrong, all of these things are valuable pieces of the puzzle. They are, but they aren't the whole puzzle. And right here, this is the blind spot. Every single one of those fixes is external. It focuses on the customer. We get obsessed with making things better for them. But that's only half the equation. The other half, the one we usually forget, is the internal driver, the competitive, ambitious, emotional human beings who are actually making the calls. Tapping into their mindset, that's the real game changer.
Which brings us right to section 2, the power of visibility. So how do we tap into that internal drive? Well, it starts with a surprisingly simple tool that has a massive, and I mean massive, immediate impact.
We're talking about a sales leaderboard. It's pretty much exactly what it sounds like. A live, public scoreboard showing how everyone on the team is stacking up based on the metrics that actually matter to your business. It's a simple idea for sure, but its effects are incredibly profound. The moment a live leaderboard goes up, the whole energy on the sales floor just changes. Reps who might have never checked their numbers are suddenly hitting refresh. Your top performers, they get a new fire in their belly to defend that top spot. The middle of the pack performers now see a clear ladder to climb, and, well, everyone knows exactly where they stand. It's accountability made visible. So what's really happening here? This isn't just about pressure. It's about a really powerful formula. You combine the visibility of real-time stats with that natural human drive for competition, and that builds momentum. And those three things together, that's pure rocket fuel for a sales team. Now, I know what some of you are probably thinking, which leads us right into section 3, competition versus collaboration. Let's just tackle the number one objection to leaderboards head on. This is the number one fear, and you know what? It's a totally legitimate one. We've all seen competition turn toxic. You're thinking, if I put everyone's numbers up on a big screen, won't they just stop helping each other and only look out for themselves? And the answer is, if you do it poorly, yeah, that's a risk. But if you frame it the right way, something amazing happens. It can actually make your culture even stronger. See, the key is all in how you frame it. First, you have to celebrate all the wins publicly, not just the person at number one. Second, make a huge deal about improvement. Someone jumping from 10th place to 7th, that's a massive win that needs to be recognized. And third, and this one is so important, you have to mix in team-based goals. When the whole team is working toward a collective target, it guarantees everyone stays aligned.
Okay, so why is this so darn effective? Let's move on to section 4 and actually look at the psychology of performance. Because this isn't just some vague sales culture thing. There's real science behind why this works so well.
Yeah, this has nothing to do with just hustle culture. It's actually rooted in proven behavioral science. We've got decades of research showing that people perform way better when they have crystal clear goals and get immediate feedback on their progress. A leaderboard is simply the most powerful real-time version of that feedback loop you could possibly create.
But a leaderboard also adds a few extra psychological triggers into the mix. There's social comparison. I mean, we are just wired to see how we stack up against our peers. There's the desire for status and recognition. And most importantly, you have that immediate feedback. You close a deal and your name moves up the list right now. That instant gratification is an unbelievably powerful motivator. All right, let's get practical. Section 5 is your playbook. We're going to cover what you should actually track on your leaderboard and the best ways to go about building one. What you really want is a healthy mix of metrics. For individuals, sure, track things like revenue, number of deals closed, maybe close rate. But, and this is a big but, you absolutely need team metrics too. Things like total team revenue or progress toward the monthly goal. This ensures that while individuals are competing, they're all still rowing in the same direction.
But beyond all the standard metrics, there's one that almost everyone ignores. And frankly, it might be the single most powerful number you can put on your board. It's called the run rate. The best way to think about it is like a GPS for your sales month. It's constantly calculating, okay, based on your speed right now, where are you projected to finish? This one little metric, it changes the game entirely.
So, for example, if a rep has closed $10,000 by day 10 of the month, their run rate projects they'll hit $30,000 for the full month. Now, see what that does? Their goal isn't just about what they've already done, it's about maintaining that $30,000 pace. It creates a sense of urgency on day 10, not on day 29 when it's too late.
So how do you actually build this thing? Well, you've got about 3 main options. A lot of CRMs have some built-in dashboards, but honestly, they're often pretty limited and not very flexible. You could try to use Google Sheets, but that's a manual process that breaks easily and is never truly real-time. Really, your best bet is a dedicated tool that syncs with your data and is built specifically for this kind of motivation and visibility. And that brings us to our final section, people, not just process. This is really about the fundamental shift that happens when you start focusing on the human element of sales. I mean, just look at it side by side. The transformation is pretty stark. You go from motivation that just depends on someone's personality to a consistently high drive across the board. You go from end-of-month surprises to real-time visibility, from low accountability to high, self-driven accountability. The energy shifts from flat to dynamic, and your growth becomes faster and way more predictable. It's just a fundamentally different environment. So at the end of the day, it really just comes down to this. You can keep optimizing the process, and that's important for sure. But the biggest gains, the real untapped potential, it's not in your CRM. It's in the competitive drive of your people. The only question left is, are you ready to unlock it?